Guys, it's time to talk about the Teen Mom OG reunion special beatdown. From the sounds of it, it was so bad that like the producers of Teen Mom might actually have a pay-per-view special on their hands here. Okay, so this is what happened. Last week, all the girls, boyfriends, babies, you know, husbands, you name it, went down to the MTV studios to film their reunion show, and there was a special guest appearance by John C. No, but seriously, we just found out that the OG and Teen Mom OG might actually stand for Original Gangsters, because a blogger by the name of Real Mr. Housewives broke the news that a serious fight broke out on set of the reunion special. According to him, it all started when Dr. Drew asked Simon about, you know, the stuff he's been saying on Snapchat. As you've seen in one of my previous videos, Simon's been saying a lot of explosive things about the cast on Snapchat, and Matt in particular. He might have taken it too far when it came to Matt, because he actually called Matt a pedophile. And apparently Simon was going to apologize for it, but before he could finish, his girlfriend Farrah was kind of like, she kind of cut him off and was like, well, Matt does sort of look like a pedophile. And that's when Amber flipped her shit and she kind of rushed the stage, cursed Farrah out, and at that point Farrah's dad is said to have gotten in the middle of it. And then when Farrah's dad got in Amber's face, according to an article, I don't know if it was Housewives, Real Mr. Housewives, or Radar Online, apparently he called Amber a bitch. And at that point, Matt rushed the stage to get between Farrah's dad and Amber. And while that was happening, Farrah started taunting Amber, and she was like, you know what, yeah, punch me. And I guess this was in reference to the fact that we all know Amber's a pretty violent ass girl when you get her mad enough. And so while that was happening, Farrah and Amber, on the flip side, the fight between Michael and, what was his name again? Moocher? It starts with an M. Moocher? Oh, Matt. The fight between Michael and Matt was escalating to the point where it said that Farrah's dad choked Matt, like put his arm around his throat, allegedly. And at that point, Matt allegedly threw him into the audience, whether it was a shove or an actual like tug or whatever. I don't know, but whoa, whoa, whoa. To top it all off, while this was happening, the other remaining teen moms, Caitlyn and Maci, were said to have been cheering on Amber, like, yeah, and trying to get onto the stage themselves. According to Farrah's dad, Michael, he actually heard Maci telling security as she was trying to get on stage, oh, I'm gonna kill her or whatever. Oh, okay, so back at it. So Farrah was taunting Amber to punch her, and at that point, Amber did try to swing for her, but she missed, and Simon was like, how the hell do you miss? You're only like 6 feet away and you're big and tough, whatever. And so, yeah, according to Farrah and her dad, they both heard Maci threatening to kill Farrah at the reunion show. They both went to Radar Online with that version of the story. Oh my gosh, guys, it just gets uglier and uglier. Combined with the social media posts, we saw that Simon was taunting Amber on social media shortly after all of this went down. He was calling her like a big pig or a whale or whatever. He said her makeup looked clownish, all that sort of stuff. My question to you guys is, why the heck would Maci and Caitlyn be so pissed off that Farrah said that Matt looked like a pedophile that they would try to rush the stage? It's like, this is an old ass, deadbeat ass father, like piece of shit anyway, so why are you rushing the stage? Sure, it's wrong that Simon and Farrah are calling him out of name and stuff like that, but it's not so serious that you should go and try to beat up a girl. Like, I mean, what are you like, why is your hatred for Farrah so intense that you want to physically fight her over what she said about someone else's problem? Especially considering the fact that Maci was so high and mighty that she was like, oh, I don't want my son to be associated with a show with like a porn star. But Maci, you put your son on the show because we know you're not going to go get a real job. And second of all, Maci, you're going to be shown later on in this season with a stripper getting a lap dance. And third of all, now all of a sudden, you are going to be shown allegedly trying to beat up a girl, threatening to kill her. Like, come on, high and mighty. Either you're classy or you're trashy. Pick one. You can't be both. Now it's being alleged that when everything cooled off, the girls all went back to the couch to speak to Dr. Drew. You know how their reunion works. They do their individual segments. And then when they're done with that, all the girls come back. They sit in a like kind of round table format where Dr. Drew asks them more shallow, useless questions. They pretend that they've grown up and learned lessons and, you know, stuff like that throughout the season. Apparently all the girls went back except Farrah, and that's when Maci kind of went on this huge tirade against her. When Maci asked Dr. Drew why Farrah wasn't coming back out, and Dr. Drew said that he didn't know, she felt like he was kind of playing dumb or whatever, allegedly. And so she went on a huge tirade where she was essentially like, you know what, we're always being held up every year because of Farrah. We've been here since 9 a.m. It's now 10:30 p.m. We're just as important as her. We show up to work, and we do our job, and why is Farrah always being treated like she's up here and we're down here? We're just as important. You know what? If Farrah's not coming, I'm walking out. So she walked out. And Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Caitlyn and Amber followed her right on out there, and the audience gave them a standing ovation. I'm personally surprised to see the audience give Maci a standing ovation, considering the way it said that she acted throughout that whole brawl. I mean, this girl was trying to jump on stage to beat up someone who was already in danger because of another person, and now she's complaining that the girl won't come back, even though all her cast members try to gang up on her, and they've been ganging up on her since like the previous year and stuff like that. What do you think she's gonna do? I feel like 99% of people would not return to that kind of environment. It was clearly unsafe for Farrah. It was too hostile. I mean, yeah, she did taunt Amber and dare her to punch her, but like, Amber, you just got out of prison. You're trying to tell everyone you've changed. You're all hippy dippy, sending love and purple hearts, on the road to recovery, becoming a better person, but you're jumping up like it's the Jerry Springer show, like it's Maury. Like, what are you doing? And if it comes out that it's true that both Caitlyn and Maci tried to jump on stage to join in on a beatdown on Farrah, I am gonna be so disgusted by them. And the second thing I want to point out to Maci is that without Farrah, there's literally no show. Do you really think that people are gonna want to tune in to watch people continuously get pregnant, you know, bite their nails all day, pick their skin all day, sit on couches all day, drag their feet planning a shotgun wedding after they have trap babies for people? Do you really think that's what's keeping us watching, or is it the batshit crazy chick? I'm not trying to say Farrah's a good person, Farrah is a total victim in all this. I'm saying Farrah is an entertaining person, and the other three don't do anything all day every day, and they just bitch about their baby daddies and other random stuff. They're not entertaining. Teen Mom 2 is soaring ahead of you because they have those kinds of storylines. No one is gonna watch Teen Mom OG if it's just the three of you. And even though Farrah's entertaining, she's irritating to the point where she does turn off a lot of people as well, but at least she brings the viewership to the show, Maci. Without Farrah, there is no you guys. Newsflash. That's why when you try to threaten to pull your son off the show, the producers did not give a single shit, because they're like, well, Maci, you could threaten to remove your son from the show. Shit, you can remove yourself from the show. All you're doing is trapping Taylor with babies and whining about Ryan all day, every day. That's okay. You know, you can walk on out. But then remember, Maci, after you threatened to leave, the next day you showed up like rushing out of your car like, guys, here's Bentley, it's okay to film me, it's okay. It's like you know where your bread is buttered, you know you are boring, and you have no room to negotiate with the producers because you don't bring anything to the show, girl. What's so freaking funny about Maci to me is she always like puffs her chest and acts out whenever Farrah's not actually around. Like, she's big and bad when she's talking to producers, when she's talking to Dr. Drew, when she's talking to whomever, but as soon as Farrah rolls up, she is quiet as a mouse. She is red as like, I don't know what, red as a tomato in Farrah's face. She's just quiet and she'll walk away. So it's like, either you're tough or you're not tough, girl. You could say all this stuff to Farrah's face, but you know you're too scared to, so chill out. Farrah is the only one of you who does stuff aside from continuously getting pregnant, drinking all day long, biting her damn teeth, funding the lifestyles of deadbeat losers. Like, she actually gets off her ass, gets off her couch, and does stuff. So do you really think there's a Teen Mom OG without the only person who leaves her home? No, there isn't. So a lot of the house husbands have taken to Twitter to side with Maci. We saw her husband Taylor tweet the mic drop. It's said to be in reference to her big monologue about how blah blah blah, they're just as important as Farrah, blah blah blah, walking out. And Tyler agreed, and he tweeted that was awesome. And since all of this, Farrah has actually threatened to pull her daughter Sophia from the show. This is what she said to Radar Online. Due to the Three Stooges, I now will not have my child around an unsafe environment, she said. Production is just as much to blame as the girls. She sounds pretty serious about that, but like Maci, I think it's just a bluff, and we will see Sophia next season. But to follow it up, they shot another special called Ask the Teen Moms or something like that, and Farrah did not show up to that taping the next day. So I think she was shook for sure, and reasonably so. It's just, it can't be fun to have a whole group of people pounce on you and threaten to beat you up and try to beat you up. What did you guys think about this WrestleMania that's about to air, hopefully, on the reunion special? Do you think MTV will actually use the footage or no? How do you feel about the Farrah versus Amber thing? I know Farrah kind of instigated it, but Amber, you don't walk around punching people. That's just ratchet as hell. Why would you do that? So I don't know how I feel about it. It's a toss-up. My main issue is the fact that the two other girls tried to jump on stage and allegedly uttered threats against Farrah as well over something so petty that had nothing to do with them. I feel like at that point, you're just a gang, you're just a bunch of bullies, and you need to fuck off. Anyway, that's all for now, you guys. Thank you so much for being patient with me while I put this video together. There was just so much news coming out, and I wanted it to be one big video for you instead of a bunch of bite-sized ones. Leave all your opinions in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. You can also follow me across social media, where I do love talking with you, and make sure to like this video and subscribe for more, and share it with your friends as well. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching.